Welcome to Entrepreneur to ZENpreneur. Today we are going to explore 4 out of the 7 areas of the Zen 7. These areas are probably you're going to find these familiar because you as an entrepreneur or small business owner are managing these areas on a regular basis. So make sure you have a journal and a pen ready to take some notes down throughout this presentation. So the Zen 7 are 7 areas that I feel are primary to being an entrepreneur. We are going to be focusing on social media, marketing, business apps, and business development. And then what takes you from entrepreneur into being transitioning into a Zenpreneur are 3 additional areas: nourishment, self-care, and personal development. But we're only going to be focusing on the first 4 today. So first, social media. The first area with social media is the platforms that you're using for promoting and marketing your small business. So what I like to suggest is that you have 2 primary platforms that you use, that you're comfortable using. So for instance, I am using right now Instagram and I'm using Twitter, and I'm getting very comfortable with those platforms. And I always encourage every small business owner to have an active LinkedIn profile. This is vital. You are going to make lots and lots of connections, and it's one of the more professional platforms that you can connect with your audience. So I am actually using 4 social media platforms right now in total: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So those are my 4 platforms, and I am sticking with those. I'm not adding any more. All of those platforms, I really enjoy all of the ways that you can market using those platforms, and I'm really finding that I'm finding my groove with them and finding my rhythm with them. The next area is discussing on social media how to post. This is a very common question that I get. So, how many times are you supposed to post? In the Zenpreneur program, I encourage my new Zenpreneur clients to start thinking about posting 1 time a day. And throughout the program, I have a particular way I do this, and I help them break this down so it doesn't seem as daunting. So at least once a day. And another goal to think of is eventually, especially if you're on Facebook, that's a very, very popular platform. You want to be posting up to 4 times a day on that feed. So really, consistency is key. Finding a schedule and sticking to it, and making sure that your audience is seeing you actively on your social media platforms. Next, keeping your profiles updated. Making sure that the bios are updated. If you're using a platform that offers a cover photo like Facebook or Twitter, use that real estate to promote an event that you're offering, or something special, a promotion that you're giving away, or the freebie on your website. Make sure that you use that space and you can change those cover photos on a regular basis. I change mine in Canva, and I have a LinkedIn banner project that I can just use that template, and I already have the dimensions in there, so I just need to change it up, make it match what the event is that I'm promoting, and then I can upload it. And it's a great way to kind of switch it up and let your platform, or you let your profiles on those platforms, stand out. Also, if you have a Linktree or another platform like that you are using on Instagram, let's say, where you can stack a lot of links on one page, then make sure that you go in there and you actively press on those links and make sure that they're all working and none of them are broken. And you also want to make sure that you're updating that every month. Things are changing, you're promoting different things, marketing different things. You want to make sure that you keep that updated. Alrighty, so the next area we're going to explore is marketing. So, marketing your small business. How can you do this? There's a couple different ways to start doing this actively. So, the first one is networking. We just explored social media platforms. You can certainly use those platforms to network with your audience and also find people to collaborate with. That's one of my favorite things to do is how can I help your business and then how can you support mine? So it's a win-win for both of us. Also, with your networking, going through your email list and reaching out to the folks that you have not spoken to in a while. Right now, it's a little tricky, probably with coming and meeting face to face, but you can certainly jump on a Zoom or a FaceTime and you can connect that way. I've done that the last couple of weeks and that's been really fun. Even though we can't sit down and have a coffee or a hot tea together, we can at least join and connect virtually. Next is email and text marketing. So I added text onto this bullet point because I just changed from email marketing into text marketing. So whichever platform works best for you, a lot of people use email marketing. It's very, very, very popular. I have found it difficult personally to keep up with an email list. And I feel like my messages and my announcements are short enough that it doesn't require a full email. So I have explored other ways of using a similar email marketing tool, but in a text form. So right now I'm using Haymarket. And they allow me to, same thing with email marketing, create your lists, you can create automations, you can create campaigns, and then you can also schedule out those text messages in advance. So for instance, I'm going to be hosting a live workshop for my Anatomy Nerd Studio members. And so I was sending out an email or a text message when I remembered, but I'm sending it out tomorrow. I already scheduled it in the application and then it'll send it out promptly tomorrow. So thinking about how you are marketing, are you going to be using email marketing or is text marketing more your thing? So we will discuss that in the ZENpreneur program based on your business and based on your comfort with technology. Next, your website. Every single page on your website can be a post. It can be, there's a link there. And so you can create that CTA and you can create that awesome caption and send them directly to your website. So this is another awesome way to support you with your marketing. Another thing with your website is making sure that you are going on your website and pressing all the links, pressing all of the buttons, making sure that everything is active again and not any dead links. You don't want those. That will definitely turn people away from working with you if your website is not working properly. So when you are marketing, make sure that you are actively networking. I love to network primarily on LinkedIn, but those other platforms are wonderful as well. Using and choosing either email marketing or text marketing. You can certainly use both, but they are different platforms. And then making sure that you are using your website as a marketing asset. The next area is business applications, one of my favorite areas of the Zen 7. All right, so first, let's go over the app criteria. So my very first business was Be Mobile Wellness, and I offered on-site corporate massage and yoga classes, and then in-home yoga and massage sessions for private clients. so corporate and private sessions. And I was finding that I was using a lot of different tools, and I was checking my bank account and I was seeing, well, that's a lot of money going towards tools and business applications. So what I did was I had to figure out which applications I wasn't utilizing and eliminate those. And then I created a app criteria that I use to support me every time I am interested in another application. So the app criteria is first price. So what does the application cost? What is it going to cost you in your business to utilize this and implement this into your workflow? Next is time. How much time? What's the learning curve that's going to take for you to learn this new tool and implement it into your workflow and actually use it? And then on top of that, if you were to add a VA, a virtual assistant, maybe in the future, are you going to be able to teach that VA easily how to use that application? Most of the time, VAs are well educated in all sorts of applications, but sometimes I've had this where it's a new application. So how easy is it for you to teach that application to somebody else? Next, mobile application. You may have noticed as a small business owner, entrepreneur, that when you step away from your workspace, you need to have your business accessible on your phone. So one of the business criteria for me is, how does your mobile application function when I'm away from my workspace? This is a huge thing for me. So my biggest thing is, if you do not have a mobile app, then there should be a huge reason why I'm going to overthrow that piece of the criteria in order to invest in it. One thing that I used to invest in, it does have a mobile app that's very functional now, but Canva did not have the best app. They do now, but at first I was paying for them primarily to use them on my desktop. And I knew if I left my desktop, I would not be able to make any graphics or access my slides or whatever. Now they have made the application a spitting image of the desktop version, so it's super easy to create graphics as you need to away from your workspace. There are certain things you can't do, but most of the things you can certainly do, especially if you're using a template. So price, time, mobile app, last but not least is customer service. So if you are paying for an application or it's free and you're using the free version, that's going to determine what level of customer service you are going to have. So the free tiers, if the application offers a free tier, you're primarily going to receive email support that's going to be 24 to 48 hours for a response. If you're doing this pro or starter package, that first level, that first tier that you're paying, you might get access to live chat, let's say. And then if you're enterprise or even higher than that, then you might have a dedicated tech person to support you and your account. So that one person would have a bunch of different clients who they are dedicated to supporting you with that platform. All right, so that is a little bit of the app criteria that I keep myself accountable to every time I want to explore a new application. Alrighty, business toolkit. So think about all the tools that you are currently using to operate and run your business. Everything from Gmail to Google Docs to the social platforms that you're using. And I want you to make a list of all of those tools that you're using. I have a spreadsheet with the price so that I know, especially the ones that I'm paying for, what is going out, what are the tools that I'm paying for, and how much is that. I try to keep myself under a budget. And so that might be something to think about, is giving yourself a budget. And so your applications and purchasing those applications or investing in them, you cannot exceed this particular amount. And that's been very helpful for me. Another piece of that app criteria as well with the price. So If you are not feeling confident in weaving that technology into your workflow, or you write down your business toolkit and you're like, Vanessa, I don't know what to do next, I would love to chat with you. Let's talk, and I can kind of help you fill in the gaps with what applications you would need to use or could use in order to support you running your business more productively and strategically. So let's chat. And with your business toolkit, know that there are a lot of free applications. If you really wanted to, you could say, Vanessa, I want all free applications. No problem. And we would create and develop a business toolkit that would support you, and you wouldn't have to pay anything. There are going to be certain apps, though, I do have to say before we scooch forward here, that eventually when you are building and you're making video content and you're making your own content, you are going to have to invest in some of these tools for your business. But it's not a ton, it's not too much. But that's where it comes into what is the best decision for your business. What is your limit? What is your budget? And then you stay within that money frame. Alrighty. So another thing that I love to do with the business apps that's really helped me was you can move these applications on your phone. This is in regards to being on your cell phone. So when we're away from our workspace, what I've done is I've organized my applications on my cell phone, and I've done this into 3 categories. So I separated them into all of the apps that I use for communication, all of the apps that I'm using for marketing, and then all of the apps that I'm using for the back office, that sort of thing. So once those are organized and they're on the front part of my phone, the very first page, they're easy to access whenever I need to find them. And I'm not scrolling through pages and trying to find this application to help me run my business. Everything that I use to run my business is on one page. So, and I've, eventually you kind of memorize where those little folders are. So that's been a huge help. So when you write down that list, go find all those apps on your phone and start organizing them on your device, and see if that doesn't help you with your workflow. All right, so next we're going to dive into business development. This is the 4th area of the Zen 7, so this is the final one that we're going to explore today. So first, your structure of your business and the processes of your business. We call these BOPs, business operating procedures. And I didn't take this seriously in my first business. And if you were witnessing me and how I worked in my first business, there were definitely some hard lessons learned with the lack of structure that I had, and then ignoring the processes that I tried to put in place for myself. I thought I could just wing it, and that's just not the case. Especially if you are a solo business owner, I highly suggest that you let that belief go really quickly, and know that these structures and these business operating procedures and the processes for your business that you do every week, month, and quarter are vital to how you run your business. And these are what I like to call the roots or the bones of your business. So let's talk a little bit about structure. As a small business owner, you're running the show. You don't have anybody telling you how to structure your time. So it's up to you to do this. There are lots of books, lots of podcast things you can read and educate yourself on how to do this. This is something that I structure this within the 90-day program. So every Thursday we're live. I go live and we do our ZENpreneur weekly check-in. Every Sunday we do our ZENpreneur weekly prep. So we're prepping the upcoming week. And then the last Sunday of the month, is a ZENpreneur weekly/monthly prep. So we prepare our marketing for the next month. So having these and practicing these every single week can get you into that rhythm and have you gain that traction that you need to make this a part of your workflow. Now, this is so new for me that I literally started this and implementing this with it was a non-negotiable. I made that decision in 2019. So I haven't been doing this for very long. This has been very new for me to actually be very structured in my business processes and the structure that I hold myself to. Also, as an entrepreneur and solo business owner, you're committing to building and implementing these new habits in yourself. And I wish I would have known this, but I'm glad that I learned this because now I can share this experience with you so that you can learn from my mistakes and moving forward quicker in your business and in your entrepreneur journey. And last but not least, with this structure and process, is a huge thing that I've done with my check-ins is actively time blocking. One of my favorite books is The Compound Effect, and they're talking about structure and how to do time blocks and strategic time blocks, 3-hour time blocks, buffer blocks, 30 to 60 minutes, and then breakout blocks. And each time block has a different purpose for your calendar. And implementing these 3 time blocks has really helped me in what I've been able to accomplish the last couple of years. 2019 and 2020, the things that I've been able to accomplish as a solo business owner, putting these and following these structures and processes that I put into place, I am pretty darn impressed with myself. But it wasn't because I was just, trying to wing it. It was because I put my nose to the grindstone and I made sure that this is the structure and this is my responsibility to maintain this every single day. So I hope that made sense. The next area we're going to discuss is financial health. Now, I've shifted this a little bit from the last time that I shared this business development area of the Zen 7. So financial health, this is something that is very important. I shared earlier with your business applications and tools, you want to make sure that you have a spreadsheet so you're actively keeping track of what is going into your business. Another piece of this is accounting. Either having an accounting software that you're going to plug in, doing it all on your own, or what I like to do is I like to just invest in somebody who's going to support my business and help me along the way. I have invested in Bench Accounting, and I love it because it's all an application. I can message them anytime. I can reach out to this dedicated accountant asking them questions about my business. This isn't just business in general. It's how does this support me? How should I organize this for my business? And they can support you with that. So there is no questions on your financial health with your business. They help you with taxes, and that is a huge thing. They've just added that on. And so now I do my accounting and my taxes with the same company, and this is very exciting. So again, I use Bench Accounting. They're awesome. I highly, highly recommend them. So those are a couple areas or things to think about when you are thinking about the financial health of your business. And last but not least, having new business skills. Think of somebody who you admire as a business owner. Maybe they're awesome at their graphics. Maybe they do killer video content. Or maybe they are just awesome on their website and you really love the layout of all of that. So how can you bring that on as a skill? Is there something that you want to or need to learn as a business owner that you can invest in? So I've had several opportunities where you can go to conferences and you can do some personal development or business development, and sometimes it's a combination of both. But these are wonderful opportunities for you to really gain an insight on where you are in your business and what other people are doing. Plus, it's networking. There's a lot of awesome things you can do if you attend these types of conferences. For me, another thing I love to do is this is business plus personal development in a sense, but joining the Wanderlust Festival. As soon as they're up and running again, I'd love to get back on there. That's definitely one business development because I get to network with other teachers and get an idea of how it's going with them and maybe what styles they're really liking right now. And then I can also have that personal development where I'm actually being taught by those teachers that I admire online. So that's another piece that's kind of intertwines with this personal development in a sense, but thinking of a new skill that you would like to learn. Right now, I'm going to school for or learning virtually how to become a Qigong instructor. So that is a skill that's going to improve my business skills, and I'll be able to also implement that into my work, into my coaching, and into my Anatomy Nerd Studio classes. So that is a little bit on how to implement and think about those new business skills that you want to bring into your life. All right. So this is going to conclude the Zen 7 Part 1. I hope to be recording Part 2 this week, or I'll be going live next week. So these will both be available here on this YouTube channel. If you know anybody, small business owner, entrepreneur, who would benefit from this event, please send them the link. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I hope this was super helpful. If you have any questions or if you would like some clarity on anything that I shared with you today, please comment in the comment box below, or you can DM me on Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn at Vanessa Reagans. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch me. I'll see you in the